Hey, beautiful heart. Welcome to my channel. I am Dr. D, the Awakening Doctor, here to help you make sense out of this journey called life and help you on your road, of awakening and self-mastery. Let's get into it today. The energy is changing up. You might be feeling it. As we head into the weekend, I'm recording this early Friday, August 1st morning around 4 a.m. Anyways, this energy, we always switch energies when we go into a new month. But aside from that, we've got Venus in Cancer. We've got Chiron, the wounded healer, in retrograde, and there's some other things going on. So today could be a day where you could feel very sensitive, very emotional. It could be very similar to what you've been feeling this week that kind of came in last weekend, or it could feel different. You might feel a little wobbly in the energy. And what do I mean by wobbly in the energy? Unsettled, like not sure which way things are going to go. Things might not feel very solidified right now and can change. Best advice for today, as the weekend starts, yes, we're starting with some sensitive emotional energy, old wounds coming in. Well, they're sitting here. And that's what I'm going to talk about, how to navigate this energy. It's like, think of this energy like a weather report. In other words, a big storm is coming in, hurricane. It doesn't have to be a hurricane, just whatever storm. You take precaution, you take measures. If it's going to be a hurricane, whatever category, but in other words, you're supposed to stay safe. And I guess hurricane's not a good analogy. Now I'm going to go with tornado. We're going with tornado. So if there's a tornado warning or weather warning, what do you usually do? You hunker down. You take cover. That's where I was going with this. This is the type of energy that you just want to pull back, kind of go within, and not go within to sit in the wound. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is limit your access to people, any type of overstimulation, lots of activity, things like that. And again, you take it as it resonates for you and where you're at and what you're feeling. Energy and life goes in a circle. It's not linear. It doesn't go from point A to point Z. That's what the Matrix wants you to believe. This is what you were taught. But it goes against what you innately know. The circle of life. Energy flows in a circle. Why is this important? Well, if you look here, there's no beginning, no end, no entry, no exit point. It's a continuous cycle. As you learn energy, as you learn more about yourself and how you react to energy or respond to energy or how your body interprets it, just know that with the whole circle of life thing, energy moves in a circle. And what I mean by that, before anybody comes for me in the comments, is think of it as like a season, the circle of life. In life, we have seasons: spring, summer, winter, or fall, winter. I know I said them out of order. The energy does as well. So depending on where you're at in your circle of life journey is going to dictate what energy you're feeling at any moment. So when I talk about the energy going around, you know, you could be over here in your circle. I may be talking about energy that's over here in the so-called circle. Well, you've either felt that energy already or you're going to feel that energy. So just hang in there. And now that I've rambled, welcome to me at 4 a.m. All right. As I mentioned, this is a day. Be aware of your thoughts, be aware of your feelings. Don't attach to those. Don't make decisions based on your feelings today. Okay. The overall call here is wake up to who you truly are. Let's see if I can grab that. Yeah. Because who you've been playing, especially when you were in the Matrix, is not who you truly are. So who are you truly? And it's not let me go over to the bookshelf and just see, you know, what personality, what identity do I want to be today and pick that off the shelf. Not really. And it's also not gonna just all of a sudden one day show up for you like a brand new outfit. You get to decide what feels right for you. So yeah, try different things on. You don't have to commit to anything. You have the right to change at any time that you want to. This is your life. You are writing the story. You are the author. So look at the story that you're writing. Another way of saying that is look at the story you're telling yourself. Are you the victor? Or are you the oppressed? And I'll get in this. I really want to talk about this oppressed energy. But first, before we get there, let's look at learn to trust and surrender. Remember this card came out yesterday, but it was reversed. So if you heard the message yesterday and you started working on this new perception of trust and surrender, here you are today doing it. So kudos to you. Congratulations. Give yourself that pat on the back. Stand on your own feet. This, I want to speak directly to those who feel like you can't do it. You can't keep going, or the lift is too heavy. You need somebody to come in and help you or validate you. Now, be aware of the context that I'm talking about in this. I'm narrowing this down to an inner dialogue of you're afraid of standing on your own 2 feet. You could be afraid, however that resonates with you, but it could be that you're afraid to make a wrong choice, make a wrong decision, say the wrong thing. And you're always looking to somebody else to validate before you step out. Step out. Say the thing, do the thing. Guess what? You're not going to be right 100% of the time, most likely. That is okay. Be okay not being right. It's not the end of the world. You will survive, I promise. But that's a conditioning. That's actually an oppression that was put onto us. in various ways. But if you feel internally like you're supposed to know or you need to get it right away, what have you, that's what I'm talking about. Let that go. Trust and surrender that. Again, I speak from experience. I am neurospicy. That was pretty much diagnosed late in life. I'm Gen X. My generation, we didn't talk about stuff like that. But with being neurospicy and speaking specifically about ADHD or ADD, I had noticed throughout my life that if there was something I wanted to do or I was interested in it, when I applied myself, if I didn't get it right the first time, or if it wasn't perfect, whatever the hell that is, but if I didn't, nail it the first time or whatever, there was a whole emotional thing going on inside. And none of it was celebrating me or giving me grace or encouraging me to try again. Practice makes perfect. No, it was like, if it didn't work, blah, 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 give up. This is tied into this energy. This is what I'm talking about. So if you've had that in your background, I'm going to challenge you to work on that this weekend, allowing yourself the room to not get it perfect, not get it right. One thing that I've learned in that is there is so much magic in not getting it right the first time, especially if it's something brand new to you. Practice makes perfect, but here's the thing. Mistakes are so necessary. And I'm not saying these are mistakes, but I'm speaking in regards to this energy that a lot of us fear mistakes, fear picking the wrong person, loving the wrong person, picking the wrong job, whatever it is. Some of us can freak out over if we have too many choices for a meal. Me. But what I'm saying is, allow yourself room to experiment, see what works for you. Because again, I could lay out step by step what I've done on my journey or whatever the situation is to get past it. You could look at that and try it, but it may not feel natural to you or feel right to you. You may, in the process of trying that, find you want to try it a different way or whatever. That is beautiful. That is perfect. Allow yourself to do that. That's learning to trust and surrender versus going, nope, this is how she did it. I have to do this, this, and this, and then getting pissed or upset as to, well, wait a minute, I followed steps A, B, C, and D. It didn't work for me. What's wrong with me? No, that's the stinking thinking we're getting rid of. All that's saying is, okay, well, that worked for Denae, but that didn't work for Sally Sue. Well, that's okay. Sally Sue now has kind of like a blueprint or a template to build upon. Take the template, the idea, the instructions, whatever, tweak it, make it yours. What works for you? And then continue trying that out, improving it, making changes. Let that be your normal. Okay, now heal your oppression wound. Look at the card. The oppression wound, it is something that is projected on. It is something that we pick up on when we're younger, usually before 7. You can pick it up after, but usually The foundation of the oppression wound starts before then. Let's take, again, money and love are interchangeable as in regards to energy. But let's take in the example of love, you could feel oppressed when maybe that wasn't the exact intention of the caregiver or the parent or whatever. But look, you could see this lady's got a lot going on. She's looking really hurried. One of her kids is up here. This other one's not kind of wanting to go anywhere. It looks like she's got a shopping bag. She's just stressed to the max. Whatever's going on with her, and she's basically spewing that onto this little girl. And in this example, we are this little girl. So whatever was going on in our adults' lives, caregivers at that time, if it had to do with money, maybe they had to work a couple of jobs. They were paycheck to paycheck. Different, you know, had needs growing up, back to school, whatever. Parents would stress about how expensive it is, and you started feeling like a burden. You were taught oppression. How does that look in love? Well, if you look at this card, you know, again, it comes across as you're a burden, you're difficult, unlovable, all of those things. None of them are true, because truth be told, the oppression wound is passed down, but it's based on where people are at, how they've met themselves, how they know themselves, and how they believe and relate. And that's why I'm saying, I challenge you to question everything, because as you can see, what was going on the surface, underneath, there's a whole different story going on. And then this one, you are welcomed to Earth. You guys resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. You're still listening to me babble on. Then you're part of my collective. You have a soul purpose. You were born into this human body for this time to be part of these first responders of this new earth, this new energy. So what does that mean? That means that your life in the matrix was difficult. You could have felt like the black sheep, didn't fit in, all of those different things. Those are hallmarks of you are very special, unique, and you are not meant to fit in. Okay? Yes, you were welcomed when you came in. The thing is, we come in and it's like veils are placed over us. So we don't remember who we authentically are. We don't remember in full the life we had right before this one, or past lives, or what have you. If you have noticed the children coming in over the last 10 years, and especially now, are different. They're not coming in with the veils that we had. So they're not having to remember and go through the matrix and all of this. So that's why a lot of them, when they're very young, show high sensitivity. It's not a defect. It's who they naturally are, and it has a purpose. So you're going to start to see the difference in these children and in these people and how we relate to them, how we talk with them, because they're coming in with more pure knowledge than a lot of the adults running around. I only pulled 2 tarot cards, which was interesting. That wasn't my original intent, but like I said, this energy, it's like a mixed bag and it's circling. And all I want to tell you is hang on today, ground yourself. You know, like this Queen of Swords, she's got her heart locked behind this gate down here, and she's not coming from her emotions. She's observing, taking everything in, but she's not attaching to any of it. That's how you need to be today. She's also not around a bunch of people. So if you don't need to be, I encourage you not to be, but be very gracious with yourself. You are moving through a time, a portal. Big shift, big change is happening. Trust, surrender, allow it to happen, because I promise you, on the other side of this, life gets amazing. Life is so fun and exciting. And for those of you who don't know my story or my journey, and truth be told, I've only shared maybe 5% of it, but there were days many years ago when I was, before I even realized I was awakening spiritually, I didn't want to be here. I would pray that I wouldn't wake up in the morning. Obviously, I kept waking up because I'm here. But what I'm saying is that just, I don't even relate to that person anymore. That's such an old story. That chapter, that book has been closed. And I'm so grateful that I faced all my fears and all those wounds and looked at them and walked through them, because life is so amazing and it comes with a bounty that is naturally yours. The reason you don't have it right now is because you're not living your authentic self. It's your authentic self that has this bounty, and life gets easier. Again, I just don't have the words to tell you how amazing it is when you get to this side. But you have received little glimpses of it. It's like the faucet's just been turned on a little bit. You may just be feeling drip, drip, drip. The more you learn to trust and surrender, not come from your emotions, detach from the story, build yourself up, be your cheerleader, release these oppression wounds, the energy gets lighter. You really start to see that you are the creator of your life. And that's when you get real disciplined. You're not sloppy in your thoughts. You're not sloppy in your feelings, and you're not sloppy in the words that you say. Why? Because you know something sloppy comes out of your feelings and your mouth, you're about to have that sloppy experience you didn't want. When you start putting the dots together, this is what I say, be the scientist studying the monkey. You're the monkey with the thoughts and the feelings. You're going from being very highly reactive and emotional and all over the place to very calm, serene. Your emotions, you're intentional with your emotions. You know that they are your power. And now you start using them for your highest good and not to sabotage. That's what this switch is about. So yeah, the energy's a little wobbly as we remember that's where we're going. Yeah, the wounds are calling, hey, don't forget about me, come back. Don't leave me. Trust me, altered ego could be so damn dramatic. Don't listen to that voice. You don't want to listen to altered ego. That's the loud voice. It's the wounded voice. It is the one that just kicks your ass on all that you're not all the time. Don't listen to that voice. You want the still, small voice. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have an amazing, prosperous Friday. As always, I am sending you oceans and oceans of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. Bye-bye.